Lalakil, also, this is now that you have spoken, I want to let you know what she is telling you, which is first that there is it is possible to fly to where they are and actually to disrupt the battle, which would be frighteningly dangerous. And but it also, the problem is that the more that they do this, and the actions of your companions and her action. Remember, you got her to manifest and to bring Urko back, I think. The If I'm remembering correctly, but what she's saying is that if this continues, the older gods, the runes of true order and perfection, are effectively being drawn to this place. You have blocked them once, but the cure may be more dangerous, or maybe just as dangerous. I mean, if you make the world inaccessible to the gods of order, then all you are left with is pure change and the drive to what you and I know about the entropic death of the universe, but I'm sure she would call it something else. So, so she cannot ask anyone to go and fly there, but that is where she is. That's where what she is she. It's interesting. She's an interesting character, and I'm trying to think about, and I have to play her as somewhat alien, so I can't be too clear. At this point, she is reasonably certain that killing both of them may be the only solution. But that's not because she is the voice of the game master. That's because she is Lalakil, and she does not know anything about any of you personally or about the cultures or anything like that. So to her, the solution is rather simple.
Well, I can't say I trust any of them, but that should stay between her and me right now. I think I'll try to get Sword to make a decision, because this seems to get out of hand in a horrible way.
I'm very interested in Zort's decision, and before we find poor Nate, he's
do I roll to try to convince him?
I know. Let's Sandra. Before we do that, I'm interested. Do you have thoughts or plans?
Well, the only thing I was thinking about is that I took some damage while fighting myself. So unless there is an emergency, I would just like to observe the situation and see if there is an emergency, and if not, I know that it might be one. So
I would say the possible destruction of time by coming to an end is possibly an emergency, but there is no immediate emergency in the sense of combat or personal threat.
Yeah, so since there perhaps will be an emergency, I would like to seek out someone that might help to speed up my healing.
I see.
Okay. Ikindus should do that too, right?
There at least
No,
a
I'm-
couple of you are hurt.
Oh yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
There should be people around. You just have to find.
That actually shouldn't be very hard. You don't have any expert, people with immense spells there, but you certainly could get 2 points of healing for whichever location you want. You can do that.
Thank you.
It's not really a very organized situation, so I can't, and so I think that's enough, or that's all that will be available. Does Skava want to say anything specifically to Zort? And also, Nate, what is Zort doing? That's a good question.
Yeah, except healing his wounded arm. That only had one hit point left. He's gonna be wary and see if he can locate any other kind of, you would say, otherworldly disturbance. Not just, rowdy people, but things that are out of order and might be dangerous.
Do a scan.
Right? That's a 69, and my scan is 65. Eek. Is it? No, it's 70.
All right. Well, that's good.
Oh.
Check it for another increase, and I want you to know. Well, there's a lot of weird things happening. The one that probably seems the most directly threatening. You remember that there was a chain that was formed. That had, I will now say, said it was floating or suspended in the air, and it still is, but it has become much bigger, and it has become a barrier to you. I think what you will notice with your scan is how much bigger it has become, and that wherever you move, it moves so that you are in the center. And it is coming closer slowly to you.
Ooh. I think that's the chaos that Shane was struggling with before. How's that faring? Because that Shane was kind of struggling with chaos before, the one that Young had provided, right?
Well, let's see. I'm not quite sure I know what you mean. I know that I had mentioned the chain that was set up kind of as the symbol of this conflict. That's the one I am talking about.
Oh,
right.
I was thinking about when it to both mark me for whoever was victor.
Well, except that the chain is very symbolic. It's part of the cult of the Merciful Dawn, and effectively it will get you if she wins. That's kind of the approach here, and the fact that it is seemingly enchanted in such a way that you're not going to get away from it, and it also seems to be getting closer and closer, which means that it is tightening, even though it's still a good distance away from you all the way around, and before it was high in the air, and now it has come down lower. The thing that you will notice that is strange is that some of the initiates of the Merciful Dawn have gathered together and are clearly concentrating on that chain and exerting power. They are adding their power to the enchantment.
Why do you have to make it so hard?
And they're not really making this secret. One of them shouts, "Zort,
Nice.
we need you. Don't let the don't let the chaos run free. We need you."
May I answer them?
I'm sure you can.
I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to do anything. They are disturbing whatever is going on, and I don't like it. And if they don't stop, I'm going to make them stop.
All right.
And I'm going to take my bow, and I'm going to take an arrow, and I'm very serious.
I get it. Yes.
And I'm telling Zord, Lord, you need to decide something. If this goes on until somebody wins, it's probably the worst thing that can happen right now.
The face of one of them, when you say that, as they look toward you, splits open. Their human features disappear as their entire face just becomes a fanged mouth as they become ready to receive your arrow and move forward. So, just letting you know what you're up against here. And so,
Wait, are they actually approaching Skava?
no, they're not. That was just like a change in that person's physical position in answer to her challenge, which is, no word is spoken, but I will translate what it means is, fuck you.
Yeah.
As if I needed motivation.
It's real hard. I see what you mean, Skava. But if it stops here, then how do we decide what to do next? Where to go next?
I know, I'm sorry.
On the other hand, and Sword's gonna point out with the whole hand to the merciful Duan. You have no business with this. Stand down to the side.
I was wondering, is this happening while we're getting help with healing, or am I close enough to already be healed and go their way and hear when they were screaming at the sword? Or
I would say that for purposes of drama, that we can see you having. Where were you healed, by the way? Where were you injured? What hit location?
the chest.
I see. So therefore, you are at the moment lying on the ground, while a person that you know from the village, two of them, in fact, are you know are one is drawing the healing rune in the air and where it glows, and the other one is concentrating to generate its power into your chest. And from that position, as you are healed, we can see you turn your head and perceive this confrontation not too far away. Kind of more fun to link together all the actions like that,
Yeah.
So at the same time, I said Ikindu was going to be taking a little while to do all the organizing that we were talking about, but and it may not be finished, but you have achieved some success so far. And perhaps the fact that you were able to get people organized and moving away is why Zort was able to see what these initiates were up to. They were no longer, accidentally hidden by all the confusion and movement of people. So what I'm saying is Akindu is still a little bit busy, but your task is almost done.